Why was the Accelerator program worth the money? Because I made it back within 3 weeks, and it has only helped me increase numbers. Nothing has decreased since taking the Accelerator program. Best money I've spent to date on my business, taking the Accelerator program. No question asked. I am Jake Berman, and I am in Naples, Florida. I opened up my own practice a little over not quite 2 years ago. Next month it'll be 2 years, and I'm a one-man band right now, just getting the ball rolling and taking off from there. My Accelerator experience and what I've got from being in the program is priceless. So I opened my doors in October 2015 and then was struggling, averaging 1, maybe 2 visits a week until January. January is when our season down here, snowbird season, officially kicks off. And then January through Easter is about how long it runs, and I was averaging maybe 8 visits a week during that week. So I finally started to be able to pay my bills a little bit. And then May came around, season ended, and it was like a light switch, turned off. Maybe 1 visit a week again. And I was like, crap, now what do I do? And I kept seeing these advertisements from Paul and all this remarketing that I now know what it means. And finally, that's when I decided to take a chance on Paul. And within the first week of just answering the phone differently, which you learn through Accelerator, my numbers, my conversion ratios went from maybe 1 in 4 to at least 1 in 2. It's probably worse than 1 in 4, probably 1 in 6, 1 in 8. To 1 and 2. Why did I feel compelled to want to share this experience about Accelerator? Because I think that it can only help the PT profession. Right now, the majority of physical therapy performed here in America, at least, is all in network. Reimbursement rates continue to go down. Hasn't changed since the 90s. No look of it changing anytime soon. So going out of network is the only way that we can at least have a chance at providing quality of care. There's a lot of cookie cutters out there. Probably a lot of people who are listening to this right now see 3 to 4 patients an hour, and being able to provide a quality treatment, that just wasn't for me. I really like getting results on day 1 and keeping that progress going every time I see somebody, and I expect those trends to continue. And I just couldn't do it in network. I knew I had to go out of network, and that's a scary thing, going out of network without a strategy. So that's why I decided to take a gamble with the Accelerator program. What I loved most about Accelerator was the confidence that it gave me. So again, when I used to answer the phone, you learn this in the course too, the first question everybody asks is, do you accept my insurance? And I'm completely out of network with all insurances, and I used to answer that question, and as soon as I would answer no, the battle was already lost. I could get the conversation to keep going, but the game was already over. What I learned in Accelerator, which you will learn too, is you say, I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about your insurance, but do you mind if I ask you a little bit about why you're calling me in the first place, to see if I'm even the right person for you? And it shifts gears away from the only question they know how to ask, do you take my insurance, to, oh, he actually wants to know what's going on with me. And then that helps ease tension on both sides of the party and allows you to have an actual conversation, person to person, opposed to them being a person calling a business. So that's the thing I love most about Accelerator, is having the confidence to actually communicate with people. The major problems I was both finding in my business, facing before Accelerator, was conversion rates. So I could get people to call me, but I could not get them in the door. I couldn't convert them over the phone because, again, I was having the wrong conversation with them. I was trying to sell myself. I was like, I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I'm really good at getting results. I'm going to get you feeling better on day one. And if I can fix you in one visit, I'm going to try to do that. That was the conversation I used to have. And it just didn't lead to conversions, all of which you'll learn through this whole psychological process of marketing and purchasing things. People don't purchase through logic. They purchase through emotion. So I was trying to sell my services through logic when that's not the way people buy anything in the world. Everything is bought through emotion for the most part. So that was one of my biggest issues before Accelerator was conversion rate. How did I know it was time to do something different? It was when, again, I started in October 2015. I made it through season, and when Easter came, it was like a light switch. I was back down to maybe one visit a week, and I was looking at my business bank account, and I just got to, I think it was $7,000 or $7,500, and I was going, wow, I finally have something in there. But as far as what I was expecting business-wise, one visit a week, and summer is our dead time, I knew that I had to do something because I was going to sink. That's it. I was floundering there, barely keeping my head above water. And that was when I had one of my good friends. He stopped by for a minute. He has 2 masters in business and things like that. And I was talking to him about business. And I said, what should I do? I don't know anything about business. And I talked to him a little bit about the advertisements I was seeing through Paul. And he said, you got to start somewhere. So that's when I decided it's time to do something. Might as well start here. And that was the scary part was, I only had $7,500 in the business account, and I'm looking at the cost of the course, and I'm going, that's pretty much half of what I've made so far. That's a pretty scary thing. But ended up being the best decision I've ever made, business-wise. Just can't even compare right now. What has changed since I started Accelerator? What do I do differently in my business since starting to work with you guys? Everything. Nothing is the same anymore except for my treatments. My treatments, are the same. But as far as a business perspective, everything has completely changed. From trying to reach an untapped population, which again you'll learn through Accelerator. The people who are actively seeking your services is a small percentage of the population that you can actually help. About 3% of the population out there, meaning there's around 95%, give or take, of people who could benefit from your services, but they're not going to call you. So I've shifted my marketing strategy to marketing towards that population, trying to reach them and nurture them along the way with micro commitments till eventually they pick up the phone and call me. So initially I thought marketing was about you put an ad out there and people call. But now what I've learned is it's more of a long-term thing. You put an ad out there and that gets in front of people. Then you put another ad out there and that gets in front of people. So you're creating this branding marketing type strategy with micro commitments along the way, giving out free information, which is building trust. So shifting gears from selling myself initially when I first opened up to reaching people on an emotional, deep level that is able to actually reach these people and help them now because I'm able to connect with somebody opposed to being like a used car salesman and try to sell somebody something. My monthly revenue has increased dramatically since Accelerator. So again, I was seeing 1, maybe 2 visits a week, and I was charging $150 a visit when I first started, maybe $155. Now, I'm charging $199 a visit, and seeing in our slow time right now 15 to 25 visits a week. But during season, which was since Accelerator, so I took Accelerator last summer and then I had season, I was averaging 37 to 42 visits a week. So you can crunch those numbers as far as revenue increase, and for most part that's straight profit, because again, I'm a one-man band and Accelerator teaches you how to increase your rate. So I started at $150 an hour, now I'm charging $199 an hour for the same exact thing, not doing anything different as far as expenses goes. Well, there's a few things different as far as marketing goes, but neither here nor there. You just do the math. I was seeing 8 visits a week my first season pre-Accelerator, second season post-Accelerator, 37 to 42 visits a week. The impact that Accelerator has had to help me make better business decisions with my confidence, with my rates, has been tremendous. When the phone used to ring, I used to, I guess you could call it a little bit of anxiety. I'm not sure if I would call it that or not, but I was nervous. I felt like I was being put on the spot. I was like, oh crap, now it's time. I really gotta convert this person. If I don't convert them, that could be 50% of my visits for the week. So the pressure was really on. And again, I was always backpedaling. I was trying to sell myself, opposed to now when the phone rings, a lot of the work has already been done. So they've already seen my ads all over Facebook and different newspapers and magazines and things like that. So by the time they call me, they say, I've been seeing you everywhere. I just figured it was time to make a call. I've been dealing with this too long. So then, I have the confidence to avoid the insurance question for as long as possible and really connect with these people and see what their true drivers are. Why are they really calling me? Because most people have been in pain for years. So the reason why they're calling is not because they're in pain. It's because they're no longer to golf anymore. They're no longer able to play tennis. They can't get on the ground and play with their grandchildren anymore. Things like that. That's the reason why they're calling. So being able to dig those thoughts up and put it on the plate there and say, look, this is how bad it is. You can't even play with your grandkids anymore. And that has helped the conversion rate big time, which helps my confidence rate. So now when the phone rings, I know that there's a 50% chance that they're booking with me. And that has taken so much stress off of the plate that I'm not worried if they don't book with me, because chances are the next person that calls will. The support from the program and the other PTs in the program is probably the most valuable part of it, because when everybody is talking about what they're doing, a lot of people are making a potential mistake that you would make so you don't have to make it. Or you've made that mistake in the past and you can see it coming like the train on the tracks and say, hey, I've done this before, don't do it that way, do it this way. So it works both ways as far as getting benefit from it, and then you reciprocate that and helping other people by getting benefit from your past experiences too. But that's probably the best part of it, is seeing what everybody else is doing, because chances are you're thinking about doing something a certain way until you see that it doesn't work that way the best, or you see how there's another way that could be done better, and it just helps everything. Because again, when I first started, I was a one-man band. I didn't know anything about business. I just thought that if you build it, they will come kind of thing, and it happened a little bit. But now, having a bunch of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners in the same groups, posting continuously on Facebook in the groups, and getting on these meeting calls and it holds you accountable and it keeps you on top of your game as far as the business goes. It doesn't let me personally get too caught up in treating, because guess what? There's a whole nother side. I have to run the business, so I can't treat more than I do the business, and vice versa. I have to allocate equally, and the group really helps you do that. The impact that Accelerator Program has had to help me attain new patients and increase my rates has been, amazing as far as that goes. Before Accelerator, I was really nervous about where I was going to get my next client. Now, since being through Accelerator, I know where I'm going to get them, because I have a whole ads campaign going on through Facebook, so I'm building an audience there. And again, it's not immediate gratification. I'm not putting these ads out expecting them to call immediately, but I do know that over the next few months that these calls are going to start trickling in. So it's helped me be more confident on where I'm going to get my next client, my next phone call, my next mortgage payment, if you will, things like that. My big goal for joining Accelerator was at least make the money back that it costs to pay for. That was my biggest goal, because again, when I first took the course, there was no money in the business account. I just started. That was 50% of my cushion, if you will, straight to the course. So my biggest goal was to at least make that back. I made that money back within 3 weeks, I would say. My second biggest goal was increasing my patients, which has just helped tremendously. So again, through different marketing strategies, before Accelerator, I never would have even considered putting an ad in the newspaper. After Accelerator, my first ad that I put in the newspaper, I think I got 14 calls on that day. 14 calls from one ad in the newspaper. What would I say to other PTs on the fence thinking about joining Accelerator? What is your biggest reservation? Why? What's the number one reason why you don't think your numbers are what they should be? Most people will say they want more patients in the door. As you'll learn, there are other reasons, just increased profits or whatnot. But if the number one reason is you want more patients in the door and you don't know how to do it, there's no better system out there that I've found yet that is better than Accelerator. It teaches you the right marketing strategy to market to this huge group of people that are just waiting there. They're just waiting for you to reach them, tap into this untapped source there so they can come be your clients. Just do it. You will make the money back within a month. At worst, a month, if you do everything correctly. Do it all correctly, you make that money back within a month. And then you're breaking even if you don't do anything after that. What do you have to lose? I had huge reservations with joining the Accelerator Program. I only had $7,000 in my business account, maybe $7,500 in my business account. I just started, hadn't even been in business a year yet. And I think it was $3,000 or something like that for the program at the time, something like that. And I was like, that's almost 50% of my bank account. I can't do that. But the more I learned was how much I didn't know. And the only way to know something was to spend money. You have to spend money to make money. And I just had to figure out what was the right place, where was the right place to spend it. And Paul, being a physio from the UK, where it's all free healthcare over there, and he's killing it with 4 cash-based clinics. Who else is a better person to learn from? A PT in the realm that I'm trying to be in right now. So that's why I did it. Best decision I've ever made, business-wise. It has completely changed everything about what I do in here business-wise. I'm working smarter, not harder now. I am no longer selling myself. I'm actually reaching people on a level that they want to be reached on, and converting. The numbers alone are showing the conversion rate. So if you're a stats guy, then it can't be any better. What do I want other PTs to know about the program that only them being a PT could understand is the biggest complaint I heard before going out of network, when I used to work in network in my other clinics, was having to see multiple patients per hour productivity. You have to see multiple patients per hour because reimbursement rates keep going down. I would say 95%, maybe 99% of every single meeting that I've ever been to before opening my own business was about insurance reimbursement. One form or another is about insurance reimbursement. Medicare is making us jump through these hoops now. Blue Cross is decreasing this, that, and the other. Whatever, everything has been geared towards reimbursement. Get out of network. Go do it yourself. Fear is the only reason why you're not doing it. People are doing it all over the country. Provide a better service. I see 6 patients a day. That's my full day, compared to seeing almost 20 visits a day and making 4 times as much. So if you're a numbers guy or girl, it just makes sense. The most important takeaway from the Accelerator program was to be able to communicate. If you cannot communicate with somebody, you'll never be able to sell them something. In the PT world, at least here in America, it's almost frowned upon, going through school anyways, to kind of get this vibe. We're not salesmen. Well, actually we are. We have to sell our services. If we don't, they're not going to come see us. We expect people to refer us clients, but we don't. So just get away from it all. Do your own thing, set your own fees, treat your own way, and get results. Do nothing but help the PT profession. What would I miss if I wasn't in the Accelerator program? Hundreds of clients. No questions. Because the majority of the people that I treat now, I'm getting them through different strategies that I didn't even know were possible before Accelerator. So that's what I'd be missing, hundreds of clients.